hit music station. Thank you for staying tuned. It's 5:25 p.m. and it's time to have a conversation about money. Yes, it's a brand new show and this is called Money Minutes with United Capital Plc. On this show, we will be sharing tips and tricks on how to manage your personal finance, make informed financial decisions, and ultimately navigate your way to financial freedom. In the studio with me is Louis Akpoveso. And Louis is a financial advisor at United Capital Plc. Today we'll be discussing mutual funds, a simple way to invest. Hi, Louis. Great to have you here.
Hi. Thank you so very much for having me. Thank you so much.
I like that you wear a cap saying invest now.
You need to.
Well, if you have any questions on the topic, simply send a message to 080-999-20275, or you could call on the show, and I'm hopeful that time will permit us to take calls on 0700-969-0000. You can also send your questions on Twitter, tagging at UnitedCap and using the hashtag Money Minute with UCAP. Okay? Money Minute with UCAP. All right, we're going to run off now for a very quick break. And when we return, we'll be talking all about the topic for today, which is mutual funds, a simple way to invest.
It's one thing to desire wealth. It's another thing to achieve it. It's one thing to work for money. It's another thing to make money work for you. To take your finances to the next level, you need someone to show you the ropes. At United Capital Plc, we provide you with the support you need to achieve your financial goals. Whether it's capital raising, trustee services, stock trading, mutual funds, or loans, our seasoned financial advisors are available to help you make the best investment decisions. For more information on our services, go to www.unitedcapitalplcgroup.com or visit us at any of our offices in Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, Kano, Kaduna, Warri, Onitsha, Ibadan, and Ghana. United Capital PLC, the intelligent choice.
Honestly, I think it's so good to know that United Capital PLC is not just in Abuja. So they are spread across Nigeria, and we'll be talking all about that. But back to our guest who is in the studio, Louis. And he is going to be telling us straight up what United Capital PLC is all about in the first place.
All right, thank you so very much. So United Capital PLC, we're a foremost investment banking firm, and we've been in existence for over 5 decades now. And in the past, we've been called UBA Capital. We actually did our AGM on Monday, and that's, underscores that we're a listed company on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. So under this group called United Capital PLC, we offer services across institutional clients, individuals, subnationals, nationals, across our 5 main businesses, which are asset management business, our trusteeship business, securities trading business, wealth management, and consumer finance, which, has evolved to a digital bank. And like you just said, we are physically present in a couple of locations. In Abuja, we are at Banex, the UBA at Banex. That's where United Capital in Abuja is resident today.
Okay, all right. So we always hear this phrase, make our money work for you. People say this a lot. But then and that's when it comes to investing, of course.
Yeah.
But what does it truly mean? And how can I make my money work for me? Honestly, I want to know the magic.
So, funny thing is, we hosted a Twitter space, sometime earlier, where one of my colleagues gave a very fantastic example of what it means to make your money work for you. And he described it as, so the money you make now from my job, from your job, from Samuel's job, who's here in the studio with us, that's the first level of children that you give birth to. Right? Now you want your money to work for you. Mm-hmm. Those children have to give birth to children.
Okay.
So that now you can have grandchildren without doing any extra work on your part to create those children. And then the grandchildren go ahead to create great-grandchildren. Mm-hmm. And then in that way, you have, I don't know whether to call it, several levels of children, and then just imagine that the children are money Not that anybody should imagine that their children are money, but based on the conversation, your money is working for you by bringing more money for you. And the only way to do this is not by saving it and putting it under your pillow or hiding it in a box and digging a 6-foot tomb to put it there. It's actually by investing in securities that reap interest and that compound.
Okay, so please shed more light. Okay, you've just given me an idea, but then we want more details. How exactly do the mutual funds grow your money?
Great. So first, we probably want to start with defining what a mutual fund is. So it's a collective investment scheme. So like the examples we've said earlier, just think of your own money, my own money, Samuel's money, everybody's money pooled together by a licensed fund manager. And what that fund manager does is he or she or that company takes all these monies and invests in securities as agreed in the trust deed of that particular mutual fund. So just to recap, it's a collective investment scheme. The example I like to use for some of my clients is if I were to go to obtain or to look for a fixed deposit instrument with 100K, the rates that I'm going to get is going to be lower than when a fund manager has pooled everybody's funds together and they now have 100 million or 1 billion and go and look for the same instrument. They're going to get a higher rate. So if I'm going to be a smart investor, I'd rather just put it in a mutual fund and then enjoy that higher rate that the fund manager is going to, get on my behalf. And, mutual funds provide diversity. There's mutual funds that invest in equities. There's mutual funds that invest in fixed income instruments. Several kinds of, mutual funds that are available for investment. What it does, it just takes that headache off you. Instead of you going to look for this particular instrument, a fund manager, a reputable fund manager, in this case, United Capital Asset Management, will help you do that.
Okay, great. So I like that you have given us a thorough explanation of what mutual funds really are, right? But then, still back to that question of how it actually makes or grows your money. I know you've touched on that, but please, in the simplest forms, how does that work?
Okay, thank you so much. The way it works is mainly with the mutual funds. There is something that everybody has touted as the secret to creating wealth, which is compound interest. And compound interest is literally the explanation of the children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren. So your initial principal makes an interest based off of the instruments or the securities that the fund manager has invested it in. Now, that interest, depending on the mutual fund, will add to your principal. And then your principal and the interest will earn interest. And then that happens again. And then that happens again. And then before you see, we have 7 billion people in the world due to, childbirth. But based off of this, different mutual funds compound, differently. For example, our money market fund compounds once every quarter. So that means that you can have 4 compounding sessions every year.
Okay.
And then we have other funds as well that compound, once in a year. So in a nutshell, that's really how you can literally grow your money using mutual funds.
Okay, so what are the advantages of investing in mutual fund compared to other modes of investment?
For mutual funds, the first advantage for me is that it's really easy. It's literally as easy as I have my money, I put it into something that is an investment. I don't have to do any other thing apart from sit and receive portfolio statements every month and then receive interest, that compounds every so often. And what we've done at United Capital Plc is that we've been able to have over 7 mutual funds that actually pick the interest across several sectors. So for instance, now we have a Eurobond fund. And what that Eurobond fund does is for people that have dollars, that earn in dollars, the YouTubers and the big guys working in oil companies, they can actually take advantage of that Eurobond fund and invest their dollars, in that fund. And then on one level, you're, hedging against depreciation of the naira. And then on the other level, that money is earning interest that has children, that's giving birth to grandchildren, etc. and so forth. We have equity bias funds for people that like to play in the stock market. And for people that love capital appreciation like me, we have the money market funds that are super simple and are able to do that for us.
Sounds like there's so many options, really, and it might just be hard to decide. What do you think should come first in making that decision, right? So shortly, I know you will tell us about the service and what you offer at United Capital, but just, as a guide for me now, I'm interested. So what should influence my decision?
Yeah, so there are several factors that should influence your decision. But the first thing that I would advise anybody that is starting out with investments is to make sure that they have a competent financial advisor. So you can sit and have discussions with that financial advisor, then they determine your level of risk and several other factors that will now tell them, you know what, I think you're a good risk taker. Put some, maybe 20% of your portfolio in equities, put 80% in the money market fund, and let's see how that goes for you. So first of all, you need to have that conversation, with them.
Okay.
And then just spiraling quickly to the services that you were speaking of, I was also talking about the money market fund, the Eurobond fund. We also have a newly floated fund called the Global Fixed Income Fund, and it's for people that have a little bit more dollars to play around, with the mutual fund space. So for money market fund, as well as I have personally transferred 1,000 naira to my mutual fund, and I've seen where people have transferred hundreds of millions to mutual funds.
Okay.
Right. So it's open-ended. It's it's very, very, it accepts any amount that you have, quite literally.
Okay, so there's no minimum?
The minimum there's no, I don't want us to think of it like there is a minimum, like 1,000 naira, right? You can get that in. Except for other mutual funds like the Eurobond fund, that one is $1,000 minimum. And then for the Global Fixed Income Fund, that one is $50,000 minimum.
Okay, I see why we need that financial advisor. All right, we'll run off now for a quick break and we'll be back to continue our conversation on mutual funds, a simple way to invest with our guest, Louis.
Making money? That can be hard. Saving money? That can be harder. But investing your money? That should be a breeze. At United Capital Plc, ease and accessibility are our watchwords. Our investment solutions are tailor-made to help you grow your wealth. With our Invest Now platform, you can invest in Naira and dollar-denominated mutual funds, stocks, trusts, and even access loans, all from the comfort of your mobile phone. To get started, visit www.investnow.ng. Download the Invest Now app from Play Store or App Store. United Capital PLC, the intelligent choice.
Say they whine me. Honestly, I want to ask that question. Are you whining me? But for us who want to find out if you're whining us or not, how do we invest?
Yeah,
so
so definitely.
We'll now be sure.
No, there's no whining involved here, right? Today we are on, we have a website, investnow.ng. So that's spelled investnow.ng. So you can go there and you can see that there is no whining of any sort, taking place. And then if you also, want to, because we have an app that is sort of like a bank app, your usual bank apps that you use.
Okay.
And we have that investment app as well. So you can actually go to Google Play Store or the iOS Apple Store. You can download that. It's a red box with a white ascender line from bottom left to top right. I always try to make that clear. And
what's the name of the app again?
Invest Now.
Okay.
Invest Now, one word.
I see.
Right. So across all the stores, you're able to get that to you. So once you're able to do that, there are several things you can do on the app. You can send money in, you can redeem. If it's Naira-based funds in 24 hours, 24 working hours, you have your funds. And if it's dollar-based funds, about 3 to 5 working days. Our mutual funds, most of them are open-ended, so free entry, free exit, super flexible investment options using our app.
Okay, so honestly, this has been eye-opening for me, and I know for somebody listening now. But then there's so many questions. Unfortunately, time will not permit us. So do you have a WhatsApp number we can call or text?
Yeah, definitely. So you can text this WhatsApp number 0818 387 1514. So I'll just go over it again, 0818 387 1514. And in addition, you can actually go through to any of our social media platforms who are verified across Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. So you can go to any of these platforms at United Capital PLC for YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook at United Capital PLC. And then for Twitter at United Cap. So that's cap as in CAP, like the one I'm wearing. So you can reach us. You can reach out to us across, any of these our platforms, and we'll be able to respond to you, allot you the proper advice, and get you started on your investment journey.
Okay, so to start off this process very quickly, do we have to pay for anything?
No, you can open a zero account.
Okay.
Literally open a zero account. Investment is a process, right? We cannot force you to start investing.
Okay.
When you're ready, after you've received the financial advice that you need, put your money inside, watch your money grow, let your grandchildren give birth.
Amazing. Once again, give us a WhatsApp number.
So WhatsApp number 0818-387-1514.
Okay, Louis will be back again next week, Wednesday. If you enjoyed this, keep a date with us. More music now.
This is today's top story. I have decided